Let's fire it up, dude.
I want to talk about how frightening this sloth is behind Nate.
Yeah, the people can't see the sloth, but I feel like they can feel it.
No,
you know?
it looks like Nate's the head of the sloth and Nate's slowly crawling out. There he is. Speak for us, Nate. Let us see that.
Can you describe, let's say that this sloth was a creature that you saw in the Amazon rainforest, Roger.
It's
Sure.
me, I'm a sloth.
Okay.
I assume that's the voice.
Yeah, that's what they sound like. Uh,
I just stabbed you with my shitty fingers. Now you're gonna die of an infection.
I don't think that's what they...
That voice fit perfectly with
Yeah,
that sloth.
But they're pretty friendly. This one looks like kind of a sloth with a T virus. Like a kind of a Resident Evil style sloth. Its eyes are red. Its fur is matted and horrible. But let's say that you saw that creature deep in the Amazon, and you burst out of the jungle 6 weeks later, filled with darts and ayahuasca roots that you've been surviving on, and you try to describe this thing to the people there.
Sure, I would describe the space mother because of the ayahuasca.
Sure.
Its hair was flowing wet with glitter of stars.
No, but do the creature.
I'm sorry, I was high on ayahuasca.
The sloth. Describe the sloth.
Well, I mean, first time seeing a sloth, I'm going to say it was a horrifying creature that moved as slow as a vine.
It had the head of a dog and the arms of an ape. Its two hands, embedded in its hands, were vicious hooks for disemboweling its prey. Perhaps some sort of fishing bat, flightless, terrified. A tree man. I saw him, the tree man.
A tree pygmy.
A tree pygmy, hooks for hands. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Like a wig that got caught in a shower.
Sure, like a wig that got like a wig from the Cove that fell off of a wig shipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of wigs, a wig king, if you will.
Gained sentience. Had to eat, so it put some knives on its hands.
Hey, you gotta eat. You can't keep eating wigs forever.
Now it eats humans. Now it's the menace of New Hampshire.
Yeah, so that's kind of a description of a sloth. Wig, golem, hooks for hands, craving human flesh across the land.
Standard sloth.
Standard sloth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name is Jordan Dahl.
I'm Nate Balding.
I am Roger Norquist.
And today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by the Monstroco Game Orb. Why play video games when you can become them? Just place the game orb over your head and let the spinal umbilicus do its work. Plunge yourself into your favorite game and never ever come out with the Monstroco Game Orb. The Monstroco Game Orb. Live forever. What?
Put your mind in chastity.
I guess you don't die in it, but like you're in it, you know?
I don't.
I mean, it doesn't seem like you can take it off. The people in it seem like they're having fun, but like they're dying, you know? It looks like a great way to go. And it seems like they continue playing the games after the body has withered to this kind of
it really feels like that it's
husk.
Yeah, some kind of like zombie soldier item.
Yeah.
Where you could have thousands of these rock-headed monsters
it doesn't
marching.
Yeah, it doesn't say that Monstroco owns the bodies or... Wait, here it is. Yes, Monstroco retains rights to whatever it is you become. Okay, so they're building like an army.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but who doesn't have... What corporate entity doesn't have an army nowadays?
I got an army. I mean,
true.
I feel like I'm part of the PlayStation army trying to get one of those PlayStation 6s. Why not just, jack in? Who needs to eat? I'll feed on a steady stream of whatever, whatever Monstroco wants to do with my body. I'll be in there playing. I mean, it doesn't even say what they got. That's a big red flag for me. If they don't have any launch titles, like I'm not gonna buy a new system.
But I mean, put faith in Monstroco. They've never done us wrong yet.
With no launch titles.
I mean,
Wait a minute. Mr.
It
Mosquito,
is a little weird that
Mr. Mosquito 2. I'm in. I'm buying.
Shit.
Yeah, that was a fire game.
Toe Jam and Earl 3. Get out of here. I'm in. I'm putting one on. Say goodbye to this head.
I love
Anyway.
Monstroko. They do us right. They make good products.
They make good products.
Think
but it's
about
like,
them for
Certainly do.
Christmas. Make your family a Monstroko family.
pop a few of these on them. Never argue about anything ever again with your family. You'll be too busy blasting across the funky plains of Funkatron in Toe Jam and Earl 3. Semicolon. The funky plains of Cybertron. I almost said Cybertron. It's a crossover. Anyway, what do we got for the people this week on the Werewolf Radar? What kind of pings did we get? What kind of hits did we get? It is Bigvember, as we all know. Bigfoot, it's almost over. Today,
Yes.
as we record this, the last few sands are the last few grains of sand
Yeah.
trickling out of the Bigvember.
It's been a wild Bigvember, man.
hourglass. It has. I ate so
Yeah.
much moss
Bigfoot.
and Bigfoot meat.
Dude, I ate mushrooms and berries.
Just a big bowl of mushrooms and berries. That's what Roger's eating when you walk in on him in the bathroom.
Traditional Bigfoot feast. You
Mhm.
gotta honor the ancient ones.
What about the grubs? What about the Timon and Pumbaa colorful grubs?
To be fair, I am not ready
Ooh, you
for
better-
for grubs.
For grub life?
Yeah.
Wait, is this real talk now? That sounded in earnest. Like I can't deal with this insect protein world we're hurtling toward. And frankly, dude, I'm there with you, Roger. I always say that, like, I talk a big game. I'll eat a fucking bug. Point to a bug. I'll eat it. That's what I'm saying all the time. But I would I do like the idea of, like, yeah, I'll eat a grub or whatever. But if we had to transfer to like a full on
Grub life.
a grub life, like that was our fucking subterranean living because we fucking let people drill for oil on the sun or whatever fucking insane thing we do to kill the world. I'm not going to be good for that. I need a muffaletta sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, you can have a grub sandwich.
I don't want a grub sandwich. Those are worms. That worm is. That's an uncooked beetle is what that is. That's
I've
not even
had-
ready.
Yeah,
I've had some
You don't want to
things.
scrape a carapace with the top of your mouth?
Oh, God.
I've eaten a spider or two, 7 in my sleep
Why?
every night.
Oh, yeah. Every
Stop,
night.
yeah.
Hi.
I don't think it is. I think I got that stat right. I've been
Where?
saying it for 7 years.
Where are
Yeah,
you
no, it's-
sleeping?
It's something like 10,000 a year.
There are so many spiders. You thank God I'm eating that many spiders. The point is, I just don't. I'm trying to eat less meat, and I don't want to supplement animal protein with insect protein.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Interesting. 'Cause
I don't want to
bugs-
move to grub life or
Yeah, you don't want that grub life. That grub life is tough. That's I think it's tougher than people like to think. There are people out there who are like, we need to move to an insect-based protein to sustain the future of
now.
man."
Let's continue on that. Remove the bugs now. Bugs got wiped off too. The
Oof.
only thing in the world
Oof.
are Mothmen.
Oof.
Are you gonna eat a Mothman?
Are they abundant?
It's the only
They're in
thing
abundance.
In the world?
Don't worry about it. They're not going to extinction.
It's like a problem. Like they
Yeah,
they're like,
we-
every time you open a shade at night, there's just one out there.
if
rattling
you don't
and
start
hissing.
hunting the Mothmen are gonna run out of food and they're gonna starve to death.
staring in the window, it's always just 2 inches from every window, quivering in and out of this reality. What would the meat? Okay, describe the Mothman meat to me. Then
It's gray.
It's gray for sure. It's probably, I would say, translucent, but in a like Marty McFly's brother
Yeah.
fading away kind of way.
Yeah, it's still opaque, but just
Okay.
barely.
Yeah. And
I
I
think
think
it-
it
do you still-
probably.
Do you still get anything from this invisible Mothman?
You
man
get
that you're eating?
nutrients.
I think it's probably the type of thing where you get like half the nutrients you would get from a steak of the same size,
Yeah.
Like you can only
Alright.
digest portions of it and then you shit out screams. The rest is all just shrieks.
So, okay, what if?
But we're all eating it,
alternative,
it sounds
What
like.
if it's
We have no
what if
problem
it's
with
only
it.
a meat
taste
man?
it. I mean, okay, like I wouldn't want to be the first to eat the monster. The monster.
I
meat.
would, man. I'm all about eating new food.
But what if it changes you? What if it changes you in unforeseen
Then
ways?
I guess I'm changed. Like after that time I had sushi at 13. I
No,
feel
not-
it was for the better.
Not like that. Not like change on like a better personal level. I mean, like
Nope.
like
Nobody should have given you a puffer fish as your first sushi.
I mean,
I
like,
gotcha,
what if
though.
what if it turns you into a brundle moth?
Well, you know,
I wouldn't
they
wanna- I
live
wouldn't want
fun
that.
lives.
That feels like worse than Grub City.
I've
At
been
least
a
Grub
human
City.
for so long. You know what I'm sick of? Human society. All the accoutrements of life.
All you need is a porch light and an old TNT plant.
I'm ready for retiring. I want a porch lamp. I want the ability to fly around it.
Sure. And an old abandoned explosives factory out in the countryside where you can retire.
I like the smell of glycerin.
With a moth ma'am.
Perhaps, or a moth it.
Sure, moth, just a moth.
Just a moth. Yeah.
Mothman's technically non-binary.
Sure, a moth they. So, what do we have this week that is not about eating Mothman in some fashion? Do we have anything where we just hey, I'm having fun. I got to tell you, I would like to talk about how best to prepare a Mothman. I think probably some sort of crockpot situation, but I'm imagining like a hunk of meat in that crock pot with like a carapace on it, and then you put water in it and you leave it for 4 hours and you take the lid off and it's just like gray slime and shadows seeping out.
And then you serve it with rice
spins
noodles.
Around and it's still a head.
It's a new Mothman forming.
That's how Mothmen are born. You kill one, you make a soup out of it, and a new one arises.
And everyone who drinks that soup turns into a brundle moth. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I like it. I have some
I was picturing the crock pot growing wings.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it will have wings after your 6th use. It soaks up the Mothman. It has the essence of Mothman in it.
Good one does.
Good one should. So, what do we have? I have some listener comments and stuff I'll go over last. I'll let you two go first.
Yeah, hold on to that because that's a great thing to dismount on. Nate, would you like to hit the people with some?
Yeah, I have what I'm going to say is the last political Bigfoot story that we're going to cover this year.
Shit. But not the last one. But not the last one we'll ever find.
Not the last one ever. But this is, and to be fair, 100% it's because of this guy's name that makes me laugh.
Okay, fair. That is fair.
This is from what hunting Bigfoot taught a Republican congressman about politics.
Yes, I know exactly who it is too.
There was a time in Denver Riggleman's life.
Yeah.
When he sat on the banks of a creek that reeked of dead fish and peered through night vision goggles into the thick of the Olympic National Forest.
This man is a Republican official
from Virginia. My Google alert for the Riggleman came up, and it ended up being this.
Is that some kind of cryptid?
No, but when it is, Nate's ready. Yeah.
Listen, every morning I wake up and I write down the names of 2 or 3 suspected cryptids. That way, if it ever shows up, I'm ready. Nate, you're a genius, honestly. A genius in the field of paranormal preparedness. Preemptive cryptids.
We found the Riggleman.
Oh, that would be an upsetting.
He was looking for Bigfoot, or at least others in his group were. Riggleman, a non-believer who's then the National Security Agency defense contractor, had come along for the ride, paying thousands of dollars. And
I didn't believe in Bigfoot. I was just there to pay him $100 and see if he wanted to party. This is real Republican bullshit too, to be like, I was there to get directions on how to get away from there.
It's okay. We would respect you more if you were avid Bigfoot enthusiast and GOP congressman.
Fighter for the rights of all.
Had come along for the ride, paying thousands of dollars in 2004 to indulge a lifelong fascination. Why do people, what kind of people, believe in Bigfoot?
Well, also, what kind of people allegedly don't believe in Bigfoot and spend thousands of dollars on a fucking lifetime dream or whatever?
What his lifetime dream, one of his bucket list is to stare at someone who believes in Bigfoot while they hunt.
It's to be near a stupid Bigfoot hunter.
This is so stupid. I'll give you $10,000 to be next to you while you hunt.
Then at one point he's like, "Oh, those night vision binoculars look kind of cool. Can I use those?"
Like, just admit it. It's cool. You don't want to look stupid, but you're amongst friends in the community.
It's fine. It's fine. These people, it's fine.
Now, in one of his last acts as a Republican congressman from Virginia, Riggleman is asking the same questions of supporters of QAnon and deniers of President-elect Joe Biden's victory.
So wait, he's trying to get the QAnon crowd on board?
I think he's a Trump supporter who's questioning the election. But if this conversation should accidentally steer towards some Bigfoot stuff, I don't think he's upset about it.
Sure.
Can you imagine, like, he went into QAnon to try and steer them to get the truth about Bigfoot?
Into Bigfoot?
Yeah, he's like, listen, your political stuff is uncovering a lot of truth. Now let's get this. Let's turn a little bit left and figure out this Bigfoot.
I saw your stuff online and I loved it. Needless to say, I loved it. Could you turn your truthoscope at a friend of mine, the Bigfoot?
I got this friend called Harry. He's real hairy, too. Let's use the truthoscope, get to the bottom of this.
Put him under
we have to add truthoscopes to our Bigfoot hunting list.
Oh, absolutely.
Any paranormal list.
On the Monstruco website?
Yep, that's the one.
Yes.
Should probably buy that domain, but go on.
He really should. Months after his ouster by Representative-elect Bob Good in a contentious GOP convention, Riggleman has become one of the loudest voices in Congress warning of the infiltration of conspiracy theories into political discourse.
Hey, that's good.
And
good for you.
Yeah. And he is surely the only voice to have made the point after self-publishing a book about Bigfoot beliefs.
Yes!
What is his book? Bigfoot, Ronald Reagan, and I.
The book, Bigfoot, It's Complicated.
Okay, that sounds like you're fucking Bigfoot.
Nearest the way pockets of the country are falling into conspiracy wormholes. Everything from extremist fringe groups such as QAnon and the Boogaloo movement to President Trump's claims of widespread voter fraud. Like the Bigfoot hunters in the Olympic National Forest, they see what they want to see.
They hear what they want to hear. Mm-hmm. And that is the rhythm.
Listen, do you hear that? Listen, Bigfoot's playing some Paul Simon.
I always say the Bigfoot expedition leader and Rudy Giuliani are very similar people, Riggleman said of Trump's conspiracy theory spinning lawyer.
Sure.
During a recent interview at his distillery in Afton, Virginia. That's right. He lives in a distillery.
And yes, I'm a moonshiner.
So what if I get drunk off distilled vapors? I saw Bigfoot. I know about it. Vote me for Congress.
Vote me. Vote me.
Vote me.
Bigfoot believers have plenty in common with political extremists on both the far left and the far right, Riggleman said, lambasting a political ecosystem where oftentimes facts don't matter. They're all batshit crazy, right? He said, not really joking. All of them ascribe to a team mythology that might or might not be true, and they stay on that team regardless. And that's what's so dangerous about politics today. That's what I've been trying to say.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I support his anti-Bigfoot crazy political bullshit stance.
Sure.
But I don't support his Bigfoot isn't real stance.
I disagree with that as well.
So I think
Here's the
ultimately
thing,
I'm going to
I think-
vote for Bigfoot.
I think he is a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I think it's a
this all-
Bigfoot doth protest too much.
Honestly, this feels like a yet again shaved Bigfoot. You know, this guy went out on that $1,000 lifelong dream of his, and who came back a shaved Bigfoot wearing your fishing hat and carrying your wallet. And it's like, yeah, me still political candidate. Bigfoot not real. Vote progressive.
It does go on to say Riggleman's Bigfoot story begins in 1980 when he was 10. Something his grandfather described only as mighty peculiar chased them in the West Virginia woods back to
Whoa.
his grandfather's trailer.
Whoa, cool. My man's got firsthand accounts.
Still doesn't believe, despite being
Doesn't-
chased.
Doesn't believe. What do you think he was? What do you think he thinks he was chased by? Bear?
I think his grandpa picked him up. He didn't have a good look. But I think that's what he thinks it was. But his grandpa, who lived there, knew what a fucking bear was, went, that was mighty peculiar.
That was mighty peculiar.
I
Or
think he
maybe
Or
was
it
else
being
he would have
chased
said,
by
that
his
was a
father.
fucking bear. Jesus Christ.
Maybe it was a goatman. Maybe it was a satyr. Maybe it was something else.
I mean, it's West
Dogman.
Virginia. This
Dogman.
could be a Mothman.
Could be a Mothman.
Oh.
Listen. They're out there.
Uh,
Could be a Flatwoods monster.
might be a Flatwoods monster. He goes on to say, talking about, so he was accused while he was running of being a crazy Bigfoot believing maniac.
I
There's
remember
nothing
that.
wrong with
Uh,
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Somebody did call him a devotee of Bigfoot erotica.
There's nothing wrong with that.
My guy. My dude.
Listen, I don't believe in Bigfoot. I'm just reading all this erotica because I have a dream
You
to
don't
understand what a Bigfoot believer believes.
You don't have to believe in Bigfoot to be horny for Bigfoot. Is what
I
he's
mean,
saying.
kinda.
Says he dabbled in Bigfoot beliefs as a personal hobby. In 04, he flew to Washington State with his wife Christine and his best friend, a Michigan State trooper, to go on a Bigfoot hunting expedition.
And you
Cool.
don't believe in Bigfoot, and you go on. I'm sorry.
The first of several he would take over the years for his book. At the time, it was only a lark, basically a prank vacation.
Okay.
The prank he played on his wife was, we're going on a Bigfoot hunting vacation.
Good one. Good one.
And she is so kind and loving enough to play along.
Mhm.
She wanted to go to the Bahamas like a sane person.
Yeah, can't we just go to the Redwoods?
If you
We are
have
going to
go...
the Redwoods. Just not for what you think.
In the woods, they listened to Bigfoot-believing women sing nursery rhymes, banking on the widely held theory that women's singing voices would lure the hairy behemoth forest dweller
Whoa.
from the shadows.
That's a new one.
I did not hear about that ever. Say
Yeah.
that sentence again.
Women sing nursery rhymes, banking on the widely held theory that women's singing voices would lure the hairy behemoth forest dweller from the shadows.
Man, I'm behind the times. This is some new Bigfoot hunting techniques.
I mean, that was new to me too. So you have to have a singing woman anytime you go Bigfoot hunting.
I guess
so. In kind of a Cassiopeia Kraken situation. I mean, that's really it gets more into politics after that, but that's the Bigfoot part that I think
Sure.
is important to know.
Sure.
That
Denver
there was a
Riggleman.
man in West Virginia, the Riggleman. So, watch out for the Riggleman.
Watch out for the Riggleman.
He's
out
got
there.
a bunch of women singing in tow.
He's the newest cryptid premiered right here on Werewolf Radar.
Yeah,
a world
the
cryptid
Riggleman.
premiere. We're gonna start doing cryptid releases, I think.
The Riggleman's your first one. Keep it secret for right now. They was
It's
kind
like-
of like a pre-release release, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of a dark carnival situation. Like after they're all released, they would send them away. Just to drum up interest. Anyway, I'd like to do